Welcome to Cross Border Interviews, the show where we sit down with municipal political leaders from across Canada. Now, our mission on the show is quite simple. Shine a light on the dedicated individuals who day in and day out work around the council table to shape the communities that they call home. From March 6th to March 7th, we traveled to Edmonton, Alberta for the 2025 Alberta Municipalities Spring Leadership Caucus. While there, we sat down in person with municipal leaders from across Alberta. For today's episode, we sit down and chat with Town of Hanna, Alberta Councillor Vern Thuroo. Across Canada, our cities, towns, villages, and rural communities are alive with stories waiting to be told. Stories of innovation and economic development, resilience in the face of the housing challenges, and the financial hurdles municipalities overcome every day. At the Cross Border Network, we bring these stories to life. From coast to coast to coast, we're connecting Canadians to the issues shaping our communities and showcasing the people working tirelessly to make them thrive. With your support, we can expand our reach, amplify more voices, and shine a light on the challenges and triumphs of municipal life. For as little as $3.99 a month, you can help us grow and continue sharing the stories that matter most. Join us today and be part of this important mission. Together, we can tell more stories, build stronger communities, and make a real difference. Support the Cross Border Network now. Visit www.crossborderinterviews.ca today. Councillor, thank you so much for sitting down with me. I got to start with a simple question, if you don't mind. Where did your sense of duty to serve your community, whether it be at school board or at council, come from?
Oh, I looked at, as a taxpayer, I wanted to see where my tax dollar was going and how it was being spent. And the only way you get to see how it is spent is to get out and be informed. And
was mom and dad political?
No, that's the whole thing.
So, I see you're the black sheep of the family is what I'm hearing.
Literally.
But mom and dad weren't political. Was politics discussed at the dinner table? Where'd the political bug come from?
We talk a little bit about politics. We always give my dad a bad time. He's from Ontario, so...
And now I feel bad that I have to say I'm from Ontario, so you're going to get me bad.
No, he's lived in Alberta longer than he lived in Ontario, so he come out in the 50s because of the working conditions. So him and his brother and a few guys come out and never returned.
Did you ever think you'd ever be a politician? Was that the furthest thing from your mind when growing up, or even until you became a school board trustee and a now town councillor?
No, I never thought about it. You know, when I was in school, I thought, oh, that'll be the last thing I'd ever do. And now I'm doing it, and my niece and nephews, they think it's a lot of fun seeing their uncle up there representing them.
So I want to talk about the role of the councillor, because now you were first elected in 2021. Okay, I just want to make sure, because you got elected through a claim through a by-election, so I just wanted to make sure I was doing that correctly. So you get elected. You sit on council, and I can imagine, and I'm saying this broad strokely, you have come to the realization that no matter how you vote, no matter what decision you make, there's going to be people in your community who just will never agree with you.
Oh, I found that out. We got a solar project going through, and they think we're all for it, but there's a few of us, we see the benefits of it, and half the town doesn't say anything, but they're behind it. And the only ones that we hear from are the ones that are the squeaky wheels. And
so how do you make decisions based on that fact? Because the best analogy I ever heard was 5% of the population will voice their opinion strongly. 15% of the population will look at the 5% and go, okay, we got to make sure our voices are heard. And then there's 80% of the population who just won't talk, who just be like, as long as my taxes are low, my water turns on, I go have a shower in the morning, I'm comfortable. So how do you make the best decision for council, for the community, with the information that you have? Because people just are apathetic, it seems, in my opinion.
I look at it as where the finances are. You know, it's if it doesn't fit with our community, you know, why are they coming? But here in the long term, it might benefit with the taxes that are coming. And the downfall is they look at it, it might hurt our airport, but with the government tests that was just run and PACE's test, they're both saying it's an R8 project. So now it's up to the AUC to see if the project's going to go through. And if they say it's going through, it's coming. The town doesn't have much to say about it.
So on that note, you're right. The town doesn't have a lot of control over what happens when the Alberta Utility Commission, I want to make sure I get that acronym correct, says that a project's going to go through. The municipality doesn't have a lot of say. You can lobby, you can advocate, but once the final decision made, it's coming whether or not. Now, you know the role that the municipality plays on a day-to-day basis. You know that you have a jurisdictional area that you are responsible for. But residents don't care about that jurisdictional line. They want you, because you're the closest to them, to solve their issues. How do you tell people it's not our jurisdiction, it's a provincial issue, it's a federal issue, or it's an AUC issue? Go talk to them because we don't have the final say.
We got a lot of people there that have sent letters to the AUC, and they are putting their voice forward. And so that's how we promoted to get people that don't want it. They can become vocal about it. And
are people vocal?
Not as much
as you wish, or
as the whole thing is the ones that don't say anything, them are the ones I'd like to hear from, because we hear from the squeaky wheel all the time. They come to meetings, everything, they let us know what they feel out in the public at our meetings, everything, we've had a full house once in a while. We've almost had to clear a few of them out because they're a little upset and rowdy. It's...
I love how you say rowdy like it's just a normal thing that goes on in Hanna. Before I turn to Hanna as a whole, I have one last question, because you're a councillor, and I'm going to say this with respect to the full-time councillors out there. You are a councillor who is a part-time councillor, but you work full-time hours because you have to read reports, you have to engage, you have to come to conferences like this, but the pay is not what you would expect for a full-time job. How do you balance the work-life aspect of the job of a councillor in a small town? Because I'm assuming people know who you are when you walk through your grocery store or you go to your convenience store or go get gas. People will know who you are. So how do you balance those two aspects?
Oh, I balance it by being engaged in our community, and that's one way. I'd rather meet people face to face. You can say what you want on and text messages and that, but when I'm one, I'd rather meet people face to face. Let's have a conversation. If you got some problem, let's get it out in the open, because you can say whatever you want on a text message, and then the only way we get to keep it is we record it. And how I base my stuff is I work full-time, and but we spend an hour or two after work all the time keeping up with everything, and we meet twice a month, our town council. So, like I said,
is it hard to balance that? Because it seems like it doesn't really, because it seems like you're a personal guy. We struck up a conversation. That's why we're doing this interview, because we just randomly were sitting at the Alberta Municipalities MLC convention and we just started a conversation. It seems like you want to talk to people and are happy to engage.
I'm involved in so many different activities with the Elks, the Egg Society. I work with whatever that needs to be done. Like, that's one thing about our family, where we get out and support what needs to be done in a community.
I want to turn to the town of Hanna as a whole. I was going to say the town of but that's your name. But before I do this, I want to just preface this line of questioning with the following statement. This is a conversation between the councillor and myself, not a motion of council, not a direction of council, not a policy of council. He's not speaking on behalf of council. He is speaking on behalf of himself as a councillor that needs a majority of votes to pass anything in your council. With that being said, I get a lot of emails if I don't say that.
Yeah.
So with that being said, councillor, in your opinion, what do you see as the biggest challenge or challenges facing the town of Hanna today as of recording this?
Right now, it's we're losing jobs because our coal mine was shut down, and at the end of August, we're losing another 50 workers when the plant's all cleaned up, and it really hurts. Agriculture is going to be our next biggest import, and the special areas are the biggest employer, plus the hospital, and we're looking for doctors and nurses, but the other big influx is the retirement homes. We're being flooded by people moving in from BC, Saskatchewan, Ontario, because it's reasonable priced housing yet.
Yeah. So what role does the municipality, in your opinion, play in addressing those challenges? Because economic is, with the coal shutting down, that's a provincial, that's a federal, that's even a global issue right now. With the retirement home and needing the more retirement spaces, that's a provincial issue. You're telling me a lot of provincial issues. What role does the municipality play in addressing those issues in the short term until the province comes to the table, or until coal decides that they're going to start opening up more?
We're opening up a lot of home-based businesses that are coming into town.
Okay.
And we've got some property that we're working, and we are going to help. We're working with the town, plus our special areas, plus another committee to start building homes and then selling them. And we're in the process of one home, but it might work out with the school board because they need teacherages for teachers. So we thought we can partner with them. They got some property in town, and nice thing is we got to use partnerships.
Yeah. And do you feel like people want to work with Hanna to do those partnerships? Because the economy as it is right now, with everything being so sort of more urbanized, these smaller communities that I chat with, and Hanna's one of those, and I say smaller as in the sense of like compared to Edmonton, compared to Red Deer, smaller. Do you get a sense that people want to build and want to work with Hanna to increase your community?
The whole thing is, it looks really well. We got some contractors that will help out, and like I said, school board, special areas, and our town is eager to get involved in this. It's a starting project, and to see how far it goes.
I wanted to flip the question because I'm cautious of time, and I know we have to get to the 9 o'clock start time. What's the thing you're proud of when it comes to Hanna?
Oh, I'm proud of the way people work together in Hanna, and as the young people that are staying around, they're getting more involved, in family life, like through the sports. Like we host some of the provincials and stuff in Hanna, so it really helps bring people into town to show what we got to show.
So you took the next question right out of my mouth. I love tourism. I said I was coming through Hanna on Sunday. I will be there on Sunday.
Yeah.
What should I stop and see? And before you say that, I have to ask the stupid question, because I know your community is quite well known for one Canadian band, and that is Nickelback. It is the pride and joy of what Hanna is. But outside of that, what are the hidden gems? What are the tourist destinations that you should see in Hanna?
Oh, we got a museum. It's not open right now, and we're one of 6 places in Canada that still have a roundhouse. It's in
a roundhouse.
Yeah, it was built by the CN, and
wow.
I used to sit on that board there too, but it's under restoration, and we're getting it all fixed up for tourists. And we had a few other sports guys. My mom babysat Lanny McDonald when he was a little one, and the Tuckers and all them that played hockey, and Jim Neal.
Seems like everyone who's anyone has like the well-known figures.
Jim Neal and all them. He's still got family in Hanna yet that supports the community well. So,
is there a place that you go? Is there a place that you go to just relax and just decompress after a long day?
I generally go over there to Nick's restaurant, and we meet a lot of people there. And
maybe we should have a little dinner, sit-down breakfast when I come through on Sunday.
Yeah, I might not be home, but no, we got a lot of fine restaurants and everything in Hanna too, and that's what keeps it going. And
so, before I let you go, what makes Hanna such a unique place to live, to work, and to raise a family?
It's the cost of living in Hanna isn't that bad. You know, it's we got to travel an hour any direction to hit a major center. So we're in the middle of nowhere, but the whole thing is we got a hospital there. We got anything that you need. It's within driving distance, and we got lots of tourist spots. Prairie Oasis is a great place there for summer, and got a great 18-hole golf course.
Oh, you just sang my magical words there. 18 holes, let's do it.
Yeah, no, we just had it upgraded, and they've done a fine job, and we host a lot of golf tournaments.
Need to come out to Hanna to do 18 holes. Councillor, I want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for sitting down and doing this interview. It's a pleasure to meet with you, and I'm so happy that I was able to sit down and chat with a councillor, elected official from Hanna. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of Cross Border Interviews. Now, if you enjoyed today's conversation and gained some valuable insights into the world of Hanna, Alberta, be sure to subscribe to the show on your favorite podcast platform or on YouTube, or follow us on social media at Cross Border Network. To learn more about the people and the communities that we feature on this show, visit us online at crossborderinterviews.ca. Now, your support means the world to us, so share this episode with your friends, your family, and yes, even your community, and help keep the conversation going. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and we'll be back with a brand new episode of Cross Border Interviews soon. Till then, everyone.